Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mocktail Minutes. It's Bailey.
And I'm Brianna.
Every episode, we are going to start with a fun little mocktail drink that we're enjoying. Today, I did my own little concoctions. I have coconut water, orange juice, and a pinch of salt. So if you haven't tried coconut water, just to warn you, it's a little different what you're expecting. Like, I feel like we think coconut and it's that really tropical flavor. True coconut water, it isn't really like that, but it's still really good. So just to prepare you.
And I'm having collagen coffee. I had my coffee a little bit later today. So I always add collagen to my coffee, kind of just helping with my overall protein intake. So today I have the Vital Proteins chocolate. It makes it taste like really mocha-y with a splash of heavy cream in it. Just kind of give me some extra fat to hold me over through all my meetings today.
Yes, I love the chocolate Vital Proteins, and I really like it in coffee. That's really the only thing I use it for. And I like to do coconut milk in mine, dairy-free life.
Ooh, yes. I need to go back to that because I was liking coconut milk for a long time.
Oh, I love it. It is kind of weird in the can, though. It's a pain to like shake up and everything, but it is still really good. So it's funny. All right. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about mindset. And I feel like we talk about this a lot on our Instagram pages and everything. But I feel like people maybe just feel like it's a waste of time. There's a lot of resistance around this mindset work. And I get it. Like, I've been in the same spot. I'm like, why do I want to make a list of why I'm doing things? I know why I'm doing it in my head.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more that goes into it than I think people even realize.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mindset is like 80% of weight loss. Your mindset is super important. And I get it. Change is scary. Anytime you set on a new journey for really anything, like change is scary. And a lot of times we get stuck in ruts and routines that don't serve us because they're safe to us. They're like what we know, they're the habits that we have, they're the thoughts that we have, and we just stay there. Like, even if we hate it, we stay there because we know it and it's safe for us.
Yeah.
So it's normal to be resistant to change. It can feel unsafe. Lindsay, which we'll probably have at a later time, she's an amazing mindset coach. She talks about kind of like, instead of just ignoring those fears, acknowledging them and thanking them for serving you, because at one point in time, you needed those fears to kind of keep you safe and to keep you on a good track. But it's okay to let go of those fears, thank them for serving you, and just be like, you're no longer serving me. I'm on to something new. So maybe we'll see if she wants to talk about her visualization steps and all that, because it's literally life-changing, but no promises.
Yeah. We're going to really try. Everyone needs Lindsay in their life. But yeah, change is super hard for anyone, I think. And our brains are honestly, they're programmed to be safe. Usually we aren't super excited to do something that's scary, to do something that we don't know what the outcome is going to be, to do something that takes us out of our comfort zone. So then it's almost like our brain is going into this reaction where like, hold up, let's take it back a notch because this doesn't feel familiar. So it's definitely hard. It's definitely scary. And the thing I want to say here is just, you have to be open-minded. And as easy as it is to say that, it is 20 times harder to actually be open-minded. And I feel like this is something we say all the time too, where, yeah, I'm open-minded, I'm open to new ideas, but then actually not being resistant to those changes.
Yeah.
Like, be
Actually
open,
being
actually
open.
try them. Yeah. Yes. Following through with being open-minded, that's going to be part of it too. And another thing I think that goes along with this a lot too is creating mantras. So mine that I've been using probably a little over a year now is, I'm creating the life of my dreams. So as I have become a business owner, there's been a lot of things happening in the past year, and a lot of choices I've had to make, a lot of sacrifices I've had to make, a lot of risk I've had to take. And I couldn't have done that if I was just trying to be comfortable with my life. And so anytime I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, I always remind myself of that mantra. And I tell myself every morning, I am creating the life of my dreams. This is why I'm doing this. This is what I tell myself all the time to get through these hard pieces, because even if you're making these choices to get to the life you want, doesn't mean every choice you're going to love. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies, but also telling yourself who you want to be. I am someone who follows through, or talk about the person you want to become. I am someone who is successful. I am someone who is timely, or whatever it needs to be. But doing these I am statements can be super helpful. And also another thing that's super scary because again, we want to stay in that comfort zone. And sometimes the people we want to be, it can seem unimaginable. It can seem like I will never be that person, but you can. Everything you want is already out in the world. You just have to go and get it.
Yeah. Gotta go get it. And no one's giving you permission. That's the other thing too. That's no one is giving you permission. So if you're waiting for it, it's not going to come. You gotta do it. So that's why I love mantras. I'm going to be honest. I was very skeptical at first. I was like, this is silly. Almost every single time I bring it up to a client, I see their reaction. Like I see their face kind of change and I'm like, they're not into this.
Eye roll.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I know. It sounds silly, right? But if you think about it, we're already talking to ourselves every single day. And 99% of the time, we are going to the negative. Like when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we're usually very quick to be like, I don't like this about myself. I don't like that. If we're scrolling on Instagram, if I could just look like that, or, if I just ate like that, or looking at people that have more money than us, like, oh, well, it must be nice. Like that'll never be me. Like we automatically go to the negative. So kind of getting ahead of that and switching it over to the positive, because it's not like this mantra thing is a new idea. We're literally doing it to ourselves every single day. We have that self-talk. So replacing it with something that actually serves us. Staying in the negative is only going to keep you in a rut. It's not being proactive. It just keeps you in the same place that you are. So replacing it with like Bailey said, I am this, I am someone who's healthy. I am someone who cares about this. I am, whatever it is. And I tell clients, like, our brains know kind of when we're BSing. Like, if you don't believe that yet, then start with something like, I am someone working towards, I am someone who's working on, like, I am someone who's becoming healthy. I am someone who's becoming someone who loves movement. Instead of saying like, I'm someone that moves. If you're not moving and your brain's like, okay, it's BS, like you don't move. I am someone, working towards being someone that moves my body all the time. So just replacing those thoughts. And I think it's really important because, like you were saying, we stay in this rut. If we are having this mindset around food, and you're dieting, you're restricting food, it could be scary to stop restricting. And if you are stuck in this negative mindset of like, oh, food is what makes me fat, then you're going to be there. You have to change that mindset to like, I am someone who fuels my body properly. It's like a safety net for yourself that gets your brain on board with this behavior that you're making. Super important.
You're kind of tricking your brain, honestly. And I think about this too, like, I don't have kids, but you have kids. So I'm sure you can come at this from like a mom side of you. But even as I was growing up, my parents never told me, oh, you're a failure. Oh, you're going to do terrible. Oh, you're not this. No, my parents are always telling me, good luck, study hard, you'll get there. Yeah. They were always encouraging me. Great. Yeah.
Yes. So, even when like, they might kind of crash and burn at this, but I'm not going to tell them that. I'm going to be like, you know what? I think you're going to do great. And they do better. I mean, if your mom was like, wow, you're going to suck at that, Bailey, you'd be like,
okay, I guess so. And we're so used to telling other people how great they're going to be, how awesome they are. Then we forget to tell ourselves that, like, why is it a bad thing to say, I am an amazing dietitian. I am an amazing business owner. I am following through with everything I wanted in life. And we don't take the time to say any of that. And it's almost like it's a guilt thing almost to be proud of yourself or to be proud and be like, I look damn good today. And then we feel guilty.
It is. It's because it's so normal to be like, wow, I look like crap, or wow, this, like as soon as you're like, wow, I feel good. It's like almost like, okay, slow down. Like, oh, someone's like really into themselves. But I'm like, we need to be our own hype girls because we are the voice that we hear the most. So that's another good point. I'm always telling clients, if you wouldn't say it to your best friend, or if you wouldn't want your kids talking about themselves like that, you shouldn't be saying it to yourself because that is so damaging. And like, we never talk to the people that we love the way that we talk to ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Like, we don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the last time I called up my girlfriend after she sent me a picture and I was like, wow, you look really bad. If you could just fix this problem area, like we don't do that, but
your legs are too short. Like
that, wow, your short torso. Ew. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not talking to our friends like that. Yeah. We wouldn't have friends.
Yeah. So I don't know, start making friends with yourself. And I also kind of think about it too, is what I say this to my sister, because my sister, like that is someone I can be 100% honest with. And she's going to tell me straight up, like, you're being dumb, or come on, you can actually do this. And I like to do that because sometimes we also need a little bit of that tough love. Be like, are we really doing our best here? So I also like to think about like, what would I say to my sister? Because kind of getting that tough love, but also that honesty, but also being proud, because I'm never going to tell my sister she sucks. I'm always going to encourage her and give that tough love and also be your cheerleader.
Yeah. That honesty, being real. I agree.
We just got very passionate about that.
I know. Yeah, we did. Be nice to yourself.
Yes, it is super important. And it is hard because I actually posted a reel about this recently, because anytime I'm at the gym, I was so in my head about, oh my gosh, like my armpit fat is hanging out. My arms are really small. I need to squat more because I have a really small butt. Like I would just pick apart my body so much. And then I'm still a work in progress, but having to switch this mindset to being like, no, I am here at the gym and I am putting the work in and I feel good about myself. I feel good after I get this workout in.
Yeah.
It really is. It's easy to pick apart your body. It's a lot harder to love it and encourage it.
And that's like a good mantra too. I'm someone who loves my body. I'm someone who appreciates my body. I'm someone who's moving my body because I want it to be the best it could be for as long as it could be, not, oh, I'm going to the gym because I must do squats because, oh, my butt is small, it's like, yeah. I mean, we want a bigger butt, right? Okay. That's totally fine. But we also want to be able to have mobility for a long time and be able to get up and down by ourselves. And, so it's just coming at it from a place of love instead of torturing ourselves.
Yeah. And even just being like, I am building a bigger butt because I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I am. I did my squats today. I'm building a bigger butt.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it is hard. I will tell anyone it's hard and it's a work in progress. You're not going to fix your mindset tomorrow. You're not going to fix it maybe in a year. It's a continuous cycle of working on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, you're always going to need to, because our bodies are always changing too. We don't really just stay in one spot. Your relationship with yourself is just like any other relationship. There's ebbs and flows. It's always changing. I mean, we don't have a relationship one way and then it just stays like that forever, like it changes. So being able to like be okay with that too is something that's super important. And I get that question a lot. People who are like, when am I going to finally just have a good mindset? And it's like, you always going to have to work at it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just where you're at. And I see that a lot with moms, because it's like, oh, my body changed so much during pregnancy. It's just different. Working on your relationship with your body and that mindset is kind of an all the time thing. So don't think that you haven't arrived if you don't have it perfected yet.
It takes time. And when it comes down to it, it really matters, because when you're doing anything, first, you're going to have thoughts about something. You're going to have thoughts about the situation, the circumstance, what's all going on here. That's your initial reaction. From those thoughts, you're then going to feel things. You're going to trigger emotions, and this is going to influence the way you feel. This could be positive. This could also be negative, depending on whatever thought you had in that situation or circumstance. And then kind of moving on from there, like you have your thoughts, you have your feelings, that emotion that came from those thoughts, and then you're going to have the action. And those emotions you felt are going to drive your actions. Yep. And I feel like a lot of times the bigger actions come from anger, because that is a big emotion to feel. And it's easier to remember almost the times that we were angry and maybe not the times that we were happy. It's a big emotion to feel, and that's going to trigger what you're going to do. So I guess that's another thing I want to encourage you to think about, is to stop dwelling on all the things that make you mad and all the negative things. It's really not doing you any good, because we're dwelling on it, we're stressing over it, we're staying in this continuous cycle. And as annoying as it sounds to just be like, just move on, sometimes that's the best we can do, because there is nothing else we can do in that situation besides make it better. Keep moving.
No, Seriously. Well, because your thoughts and your mindset really drive your actions.
Yeah.
And so this is why it's important to love your wins. I know we're always encouraging clients to be like, what win did you have this week? And you have one. Like, I never let a client come to a session and just like, they don't have anything. No, let's think about it. Even if it's just like, how did you react this past week? And compare that to where you were a year ago. It might be something small, but you need to celebrate those small wins that you have, because it is so easy to get caught up in the negative and the anger and all that. And then that drives what we want to do, So it's why we have clients find their why. It's okay to 100% want to change your body. I mean, it's okay. Like, that's 100% okay. You can change
a whole episode on it.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. But it can't be from a place of hating your body or feeling like you need to punish yourself, because that's going to get you right back into those unhealthy dieting mindsets. For example, like, oh my gosh, maybe you ate a meal that was a bit heavier than you've been eating. Maybe it was like your first not so great meal, like you were feeling really good about it. You're not going to think about all those meals that you made better choices on. You're going to think about that one meal that maybe you went a bit overboard, and you're going to dwell on it. And all of a sudden you're gonna be like, I need to go run for an hour. I need to work this off. I need to eat less tomorrow. And that mindset around that one thing is going to drive what you do. And those actions are not getting you closer to your goal. They're making you further from your goal. And so that's why we say weight loss is 80% mindset, because it really drives what you do, how you choose to go about your next meal, how you choose to go about how you move, how you choose to treat your body. That is all dependent on your mindset. So if you're not counting the positives and trying to really work on that mindset, you're going to go back to that place that you've been forever, because that's your safe space.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't get you where you want to be, that's how you're wired. And you're just going to go back there.
Yeah. And all of your actions you're doing, whatever you're choosing to do based on those thoughts and those feelings, that's the results you're going to get. Yep. If your action is to continually restrict carbs because you're craving sugar all the time, well, guess what? That's not going to work. You're still going to have carb cravings.
You're going to have worse carb cravings.
Yeah. You're going to be tired. You're not going to have great workouts. So then you're going to be feeling pretty crappy.
And then you're going to think you need to keep restricting. You're like, this because I had carbs, or it's like,
and the results aren't going to be the results you want. No. You're going to be in that dieting cycle. You're going to be in this cycle of, I am a dieter.
Yeah. I have no willpower. I have no control around food. I'm out of control at night around food. I'm like,
It's time to switch it, to be quite honest. And whatever actions you're doing, like I said, that's going to lead to the results you want. So if they're not great actions, you're probably not going to have great results. Right. And really, I feel like a lot of people that come to us when they're trying to lose weight, it starts out in a terrible mindset, because it's coming from a place of, I just need to be fixed. I just need to lose the weight. I feel disgusted with myself. I call myself fat all the time. And then you just become obsessed with the scales and just these immediate results of even like your clothes fitting better. But that doesn't happen overnight. Like, you didn't get here overnight. It's going to take time. And the problem is, when we come into this with a terrible mindset of just beating ourselves down every day, as soon as we don't see those immediate results to have that good feeling, that good emotion, then we just shut down.
Or you start looking to, you know what? I did see the scale move down 1 or 2 pounds when I did this. So I'm just going to do that, even though it wasn't long-term, because here you are again, right? But it's that mindset you have. Or you can't trust yourself to not track food because you don't have any willpower. You have no control. I'm not someone who could be trusted with telling myself what I could eat. Like, that mindset is just super, super toxic. But you're right. How you come into it, it's going to drive that. And there's been plenty of clients that they'll sign up to do it and they don't get good results. And they're like, oh, why? And then it's like they come back and they actually are in a better mindset. They're in a better place. They kind of apply things a little bit differently. And suddenly it's this light bulb where they're like, oh, wow, look at what happened. If I would have just trusted this process, or if I would have just been in a different mindset, things could have been so much better. I wish I could go back and tell myself this. I wish I could go back and tell myself then, like, just trust the process, have a better mindset, And honestly, I mean, I don't blame people. Like, we're obsessed with like instant gratification, and it's hard to be like, I am doing the right thing when, the rest of diet culture is telling you you're not, or you're not seeing those instant results. So that's why you need to have control of that mindset, because no matter what you do, that's going to be the biggest deciding factor of your outcome.
And it'll be hard to fight against yourself all the time. Like it does not feel good.
No.
So one of the big things I want you to take away from this episode is to be nice to yourself. Be proud of things that you are doing, even if it has nothing to do with weight loss, nothing to do with health right now. Just wake up and be proud of yourself. Look in the mirror and say something that you like. Even if it's like, I love my eyelashes today. Great.
It's something.
I love that I woke up without pressing snooze. Whatever it is, I don't think there's ever too small of a win, because all of your small wins, they're going to lead to big results. I feel like we tend to minimize some wins because they don't feel big enough. No, they're all big enough.
No, they're all great. Small wins that you consistently keep doing add up to make a big difference. They really do. So count those small wins, change your mindset, come up with a mantra. That'll be our challenge for this. At the end of this, we challenge you to come up with a mantra or an I am statement. You know, if you're someone who's constantly like looking in the mirror and like, oh, I hate myself, stop yourself there and come up with some sort of mantra. Just that mindset change, it's going to completely change how you think of yourself in that moment. And it's going to keep going, and say it as many times as you need. If every single time you're passing by a mirror or something and you're saying it, say it again. Like keep saying it until your go-to knee-jerk reaction isn't automatically to be like, oh my God, I hate myself, you know? And see, and it'll change. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. So that's what we're challenging you to do.
I know it sounds woo-woo. I know it sounds like this is a waste of time, but it isn't.
It isn't. And I thought that it isn't.
I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen if you take 3 minutes to figure out an I am statement and then you say it for 10 seconds a day? Like, nothing bad.
Yeah, I love that. What's the worst thing that could happen if you say something nice to yourself?
Maybe you don't like the mantra. Okay, well, it's something else.
There's nothing bad's going to come out of saying something nice to yourself or saying that you're becoming the person you want to be in whatever aspect it is. I mean, shoot, I'm like, you are working towards becoming a billionaire. That'll probably never happen, but nothing hurts saying it.
Who cares? Whenever you're a billionaire, will you take me on vacation though?
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. I'm not hurting myself with that mindset, but
yeah. You know. And I think a lot of this comes from, because we obviously know what we tell ourselves, like the positive things that we tell ourselves, they are not going to hurt anything. Nothing bad is going to come from that. But then I think we are hesitant from it because, again, it feels uncomfortable. We're getting out of our safe spot. We're getting out of this. It's just more comfortable to be what I am right now. Even though I don't like it, I don't have to change anything. I don't have to do anything different. It's safe. So even with any of these mantras, be real with yourself. Be really honest, because nothing's going to change if you don't change anything. That's the hard fact. Like if you want something to be different in your life, you can't keep doing the same thing. We talked about in our episode with Megan. That's literally the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Losing weight, even, it's not about going on a diet. It's about changing what you do every day. And this is how you find success. 80% of weight loss is your mindset. That other 20%, that's going to be what you eat, how you move, sleep, stress, all the things.
But it starts with that mindset. So we hope you guys liked this episode. Make sure to tune in next week for another amazing episode.
And be sure to share this episode on your social medias. Feel free to tag us. You can find me at New Crew Nutrition and Brianna at The Mama Nutritionist. Share your I am statements with us. Maybe we can help each other out.
Yeah, I would love that. I'd love that if you guys shared that with us.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye.